Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius and Anucauskas. Today's the 1st of October 2019, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday's afternoon session where we're going to have a quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, some of the charts that we looked at this morning just to see how everything's getting along. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimers. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest, and we can continue. Okay, also before we jump into the charts, a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel here, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, but specifically our JFD Research tab right here, which you can always check out as well on a daily basis, and I believe you can find a lot of useful stuff here for yourselves. So feel free to visit us. But right now, let's jump into the charts. Now, the first one I want to touch on here is the FTSE 100. I talked about this one this morning, and basically this is what I was talking about this morning in my video in my Traders Espresso, that we were kind of holding around there. The market was not open yet, but the cash index was just slightly hanging below the 7,440 zone. But what I was saying, that if it decides not to travel straight away through the 7,440 zone, we may see a bit of a correction here, and this is the territory to watch out for in order to find a bit of a holdup. This was the area around the 7,380 zone. The index kind of found support just slightly below that, around the 7,375 zone, from which it reversed and pushed back to the upside. So again, for now, it is pushing up to the upside, but it's currently still sitting below its pivot, today's pivot, so which is around the 7,415 zone, 16, something like that. In order for us to get comfortable with higher levels, well, the same game plan remains. We need to see a nice good push above this 7,440 zone. This way, the index would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and we could aim for higher levels. Initially, we'll aim for the 7,476 zone, 77, approximately around there. I've talked about this one in my previous videos, and if that fails to withhold, then yep, the next target for us is around the 7,535. 35, 36, approximately around there. So for now, everything's working according to plan. It is having a nice rebound from this territory that I talked about this morning. But of course, we'll be very careful just in case this suddenly decides to reverse and drop lower. This is the level for us to start maybe considering slightly lower areas, but this is 7,351 zone. But even then, we'll be very careful and cautious. We'll have a very tight stop loss in here, because in case this suddenly reverses from, let's say, all these EMAs here on the 4-hour chart, then yep, we could see this one reversing and pushing back to the upside. So that's why this level here, yes, we will consider the downside from it, but still, ideally, we would like to see a drop below the 7,284, or even better, drop below the 7,200 zone. So, but that's in terms of the downside. In terms of the upside, the 7,440 zone, that's the level that we're keeping a close eye on before we could examine higher levels. So jumping into Dow Jones Industrial Average here, guys. So looking at this picture here, you can see that yesterday the index closed slightly in the positive territory, but still failed to move above this 27,016.15 area I talked about yesterday in my video and my Traders Tea Time. But what I was talking about, this potential kind of downside line, which, to be honest, we can get rid of because it's no longer valid, because it violated it. And now what we're going to focus more on will be the this little kind of range, I would say, and this is going to be something more interesting. So basically, this little range is roughly between the 27,000 and let me just quickly have a look at 27,015, 16 zone, and on the upside, and on the downside, that's the 26,720 zone. So I've mentioned this level previously in my yesterday's video. So even if, let's say, we see a drop below the 26,720 zone, we will remain very careful and cautious, because underneath here we have another potential area, good potential area of support near the 26,415 zone, which also kind of coincides with the 200 EMA on the 4-hour chart. So in terms of the upside, we need to see that push above the 27,000 and 16 level here before we could examine higher levels. And by the way, looking at the cash index right now and where it's trading at this point in time, it is currently around here, around this level, so just kind of balancing around it. So in a way, there is a possibility we could see this one's pushing further north, but again, we need to see first a clear break above this. If we do see a nice good move above this, then yep, this could be opening the path towards the 27,307 zone, which is near the high of the 12th of September, or in a way it could travel even further higher towards the 27,399 zone, which is the all-time high for now. Of course, it would be quite interesting to see maybe a new all-time high this year, but of course, let's not over-speculate too much. First, basically, what we will do is just react to this. So if we get a nice pop above this 27,016, then yes, we will aim for higher levels. We'll have a careful and tight stop loss just in case this suddenly reverses and drops lower. And we do understand that this index can do that. In general, indices can do that. So yep, guys, for now, that's what we're going to be looking at here. So jumping into a few pairs right now. So Australian dollar against the US dollar. This continues to get destroyed today, and of course, as if you watched my video this morning, of course you understand, or if you've looked at the news yourselves, guys. So the Reserve Bank of Australia cut its interest rate, cash rate again. And now it's basically the double, twice less what it was in the beginning of this year. So the cut came at with another 25 basis points and brought it to 0.75%. So looking at this picture here, looking at this technical picture, I haven't looked at this one for quite a while, as you can see by the arrows kind of shifted here. So basically, this is the level that we're going to be keeping a very close eye on right now, and that's roughly around the 0.6686 zone. So if we see a nice good daily close below this, then well, this could be opening the path towards much lower levels. And if we jump into a daily chart, you can see where that these levels have not been met for quite a while. And I would probably even have to jump into a weekly chart on this one, guys. So yep, so there we go. So we're currently trading around the February levels of 2009, guys. So you can see how far we've traveled on AUDUSD. These levels were kind of during the recession here, or I should say maybe closer to the end of recession, and in the beginning of 2009. And right now you can see that we are at these levels, not far from these lows of 2009 here. So we're gonna keep an eye on this one, guys. It's very interesting, and at the moment it's a very key important support zone, which is this 0.6686 area. So we'll keep a close eye on that one. If we get a close below this, then yep, this would kind of open the door towards this slightly lower level here at 0.6673 zone. That's basically the lowest point of this year, and that was reached in August here. So If we get a clearance of that one, now this would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and we could then target much lower levels. So for now, again, of course don't get me wrong, we may see a false breakout as well, but this is something just to kind of keep an eye on, guys. For now, this is where it's trading at. This is the important level that we're going to be keeping a close eye on today, the 0.6686. If it stays below this, there is another potential area of support near the 0.6673 zone, but if that fails to withhold, now this is where it could turn out to be ugly for AUDUSD. But again, don't get me wrong, we are a bit oversold here on the shorter time frame, so we could even see a bit of a correction. But then again, I'm not gonna speculate on this one yet. First, I want to see how a daily candle is gonna close today and where it's gonna close, and then I'll take it from there. Excuse me. In terms of the upside here, if this suddenly, let's say, travels back above this level right here, the 0.6775 down, then yep, we could aim for higher levels again. But again, I do understand it's quite a big of a move here, but just in case, just to be on a safe side, for now, just to be on the safe side, this is the level that we're going to be looking at in order to kind of get comfortable with higher levels again. Euro Aussie. So this leads us into this pair. Even though Euro is not the kind of the strongest one in general, still you look at this beautiful move here on Euro Aussie. So it is currently trading at its 1.63 zone, just maybe slightly above it. So the big question here is, will this pair stay above this level, or will it actually close below today? So if it stays above it, then of course there is a good chance for this one to drift further north. We have the 1.6352 zone available here, which is the high of the 3rd of September. But if that fails to withhold, then yep, it could be opening the path towards the 1.65 zone. For now, like I said, keep your eyes on this one. It's at a very interesting spot. If, of course, on the day, even from today's perspective, it's quite overbought here, but at some point it will have a bit of a correction. But for now, it's very tricky to say that this is the area where it could have that correction, unless it stays below this 1.63 zone. If it does stay there below this, then we could see maybe a bit of a drop here to the downside, maybe a slide back towards the 1.62 21 zone, 1.6221 zone, which previously acted as a good area of resistance. Then now it could play out as a nice area of support. So something like this could be possible as well, but if that fails to withhold, now then we could aim for a kind of a deeper slide here. So for now, all eyes are on the 1.63 level. Let's see how this is going to play out. You can see that the pair is currently trying to push further north. Again, that's very interesting, very interesting to see what exactly will it do. But for now, like I said, guys, no, we can't really jump in here yet, because we need to see how this is going to perform later on, how it's going to perform, at least how the daily candle is going to end. Euro Aussie, guys. Oh, sorry, Euro USD, guys. So this is what I talked about this morning, and basically we are having a nice correction here. We are having a nice push back here, a pull back here. But this is what I was talking about. If this 1.0904 level continues to hold, then we may see something like this happening, where we could see Euro Aussie kind of sliding back down here, and potentially maybe drifting all the way towards the 1.0839 zone. But as you can see right now, the pair is kind of getting a hold up somewhere around here, is just fractionally below the 1.09, so it's currently kind of flirting with that area. And of course, let's see how this is going to play out. For now, like I said, for now it's playing according to the plan. It's getting a hold up near the 1.090405 zone. This is what I talked about this morning. But let's see, guys, if it actually can do this scenario and shift back to the downside. So how you could play this one out maybe is wait for a drop below the current lows, today's lows, which are near. And let me just quickly put this one on the chart. I do understand I have too many lines already, but nevertheless, one more extra here. So the 1.0878 zone. So that's what we need in order to to kind of a break below this we need in order to get a better confirmation of the further declines. And yep, this way a drop below the 1.0878 would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and we could see this one sliding further down. For now, all eyes are on this level here. Also, keep your eyes on this 1.0924 zone, which previously acted as a good area of support. But as you can see, of course, I do understand it got violated here a little bit here. But in a way, we'll keep an eye on it, because if we get a push above this 1.0924 at the moment, this could place the rate above its 21 EMA here on the 4-hour chart, and we could maybe aim for slightly higher levels, even though still for us to get more comfortable with slightly higher levels is this one right here, a break of the 1.0964. That's what we would be looking for in order to kind of aim for slightly higher levels. So let me just kind of put this highlighted area right here, and there we go. So again, for now, like I said, as I said, the Euro USD is doing what it was. I was thinking it could do when I talked about it this morning. But of course, don't forget, we do have some data coming out today, and that's the US ISM manufacturing figures. So this could in a way provide a bit of movement here on Euro USD. So we'll see how it performs. For now, we're going to keep a close eye on this one, and keep a close eye on these two levels here. On the downside, the 1.0878, and on the upside, the 1.0924. So keep your eyes on those. And this leads us to USDCHF, also something that I've mentioned. Basically, I've talked about this one this morning, and initially we were, at the time of the analysis, we were kind of sitting around here, around the slightly below the psychological 1 level. But what I was saying, that in a way this could travel higher and test this 1.0013 area. And look at this, we had a fantastic test. We did have a bit of an overshoot, and that level was the high, and let me just quickly double check, the high of June 19th of this year, of course. And this is where the holdup occurred. So for now, you can see that the pair is retracing. It's correcting back down a little bit. In a way, if it continues trading above the 0.998384 zone around here, and that's basically the high of the 18th of September. If it stays above this, then we could see something like this, a curve up and a curve up, and we could aim for even higher levels here. But for those who are more on the cautious side, what you could do is just wait for a break above this recent high here near the 1.0015 zone. That's how it looks like right now. So aim for those who are more on the cautious side, of course, like I said, a nice good pop above this would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and we could aim for the upper bound of the this rising channel formation. So we're still kind of in this pattern. It's quite nice to see this. This has been kind of trading for quite a while, since from around the beginning of August. But if, let's say, this pair starts sliding below the 0.998384 zone, then, well, there could be a chance for this one to drift a little bit lower, maybe towards this lower side of the rising channel. Again, for now, yes, it is retracing a little bit to the downside, but still we remain somewhat positive as long as it's going to stay above the 0.9984 zone. So keep your eyes on this one. Okay, guys, I really hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for sticking around and watching it till the end. If you want to join me tomorrow morning, as always, with my Traders Espresso, that's 6 o'clock GMT time. So, yep, for now, guys, I hope you have a beautiful evening, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.